You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love.
Their tasks included practicing how to get into and out of the New Shepard capsule.
1, 2, 3, take up space! Woo!
The group also practiced how to put on and take off their seatbelts.
Have you ever seen a music video in zero gravity? Megyn Kelly didn't just criticize Katy Perry's Blue Origin space trip, she absolutely torched it. Kelly straight up said what a lot of people were thinking. This wasn't some feminist breakthrough, this was a glorified group selfie at 100,000 feet. According to her, the mission wasn't about women pushing the boundaries of space exploration. It was about rich celebrities trying to look historic while doing the bare minimum. And honestly, if you watched Katy Perry's post-flight speech about feeling deeply connected to love, you might have thought you stumbled into a deleted scene from a Hallmark movie. Kelly roasted it for exactly what it felt like. A performance, not a moment of genuine achievement. In Kelly's words, the whole spectacle cheapened decades of hard-won accomplishments by real women in space. Women who actually put in the work and didn't float around for 4 minutes just to land and post on Instagram. Speaking of floating, let's talk about that flight, shall we? 11 minutes. 11 minutes! You could microwave an entire family dinner in the time they were in space. And of those 11 minutes, they only got about 4 minutes of zero gravity. 4 minutes! That's barely enough time to find your footing, let alone have a spiritual awakening. No experiments, no research, no data collection, nothing. Just vibes. Imagine all that hype, all that buildup, all those headlines. And the reality was basically a cosmic bounce house. Critics were brutal about it too. People were like, bro, I spend more time scrolling TikTok in the morning than Katy Perry spent floating in space. And they're not wrong. But the internet? Oh, the internet had a field day. First off, let's talk about Jeff Bezos' rocket.
And wear the suits that were designer and showed Lauren Sanchez's boobs. Okay, I think we're all just part of some weird Jeff Bezos sexual fantasy right now. I really do. There's something happening there.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around it. That rocket looked like it belonged in an Austin Powers movie. It was unmistakably phallic. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, people couldn't unsee it. Memes exploded faster than the rocket launch itself. Then you had Katy Perry, dramatically kissing the ground after her heroic 11-minute journey like she just returned from battling Thanos in outer space. People made side-by-side memes comparing her to regular folks getting off a Southwest flight. It was brutal. Honestly, it started to feel like the trip was less about making history and more about making memes. And while the jokes were flying, so were the accusations of hypocrisy. A lot of people, including activist celebs like Emily Ratajkowski, pointed out the obvious. How are you going to spend millions on a carbon-belching vanity project and then turn around and tell the rest of us to recycle our yogurt containers? The Blue Origin mission was wrapped in all this talk about caring for Mother Earth, but let's be real. You don't show your love for the planet by burning rocket fuel for an 11-minute Instagram flex. The hypocrisy was almost impressive. Like, if you're going to pollute the atmosphere, at least pretend you're doing some kind of research. Nope, just selfies and souvenir patches. And speaking of selfies, let's take a look at the historic crew. Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, Gayle King. Now, no offense, but none of these people are astronauts. None of them are engineers. None of them even pulled a Matt Damon in The Martian and grew a potato on a spaceship. They were media personalities, reality TV figures, and pop stars. It felt less like a bold step for womankind, and more like an extremely expensive influencer brand trip. Critics said it best. If you want the public to take your mission seriously, maybe start by sending people who know what the inside of a lab looks like. Otherwise, you're just giving rich kid field trip energy. And trust me, that vibe came through loud and clear. And it wasn't just crusty political commentators shaking their heads either. Other celebrities jumped on the dog pile too. Emily Ratajkowski called the whole thing bizarre. And Olivia Wilde summed it up perfectly. All those billions. And all we got were a few memes. Honestly, when even Hollywood starts roasting you, you know you've really achieved something special, and not in the way you were hoping. It was one of those rare moments where political commentators, environmentalists, and meme accounts all agreed. This was peak cringe. Now, Katy Perry tried to clap back. Kind of. During her Lifetime's tour kickoff, she leaned into the space theme hard. She was flying around the arena in a silver jumpsuit like some kind of pop star astronaut. She gave speeches about following your dreams even when people call you crazy. And hey, points for commitment, but behind the scenes? Insiders say the backlash really got to her. Apparently, Katy thought the trip would be seen as meaningful, not meme-worthy. She reportedly felt genuinely crushed by how public and vicious the reaction became. And honestly, I believe that. It's gotta be rough thinking you're about to have your Neil Armstrong moment, only to become the subject of 1,000 TikTok parodies instead. But part of why the backlash was so intense comes down to the media's ridiculous overhyping of the event. News outlets were calling this a historic moment for women and inspirational for the next generation. Inspirational? Listen. If floating around in a fancy jumpsuit for 4 minutes is the new bar for history-making achievements, I'm about to feel really good about all the times I managed to change a tire. The reality is that women have been pioneering space travel since the 1960s. Valentina Tereshkova, Sally Ride, countless NASA engineers, they didn't just pop champagne after 11 minutes. They broke barriers, saved missions, changed history. Comparing them to an 11-minute influencer flight was downright insulting. The public didn't just feel let down, they felt lied to. At the end of the day, the Blue Origin flight became a full-blown cautionary tale. It showed exactly what happens when celebrity culture tries to hijack serious achievements. If they'd been honest, if they'd just said, hey, this is a cool, fun, luxury trip for rich people, everyone probably would have shrugged and moved on. But by dressing it up in empowerment speeches and fake gravitas, they invited real scrutiny, and the whole thing crumbled under the weight of it. Turns out, you can't fake inspiration. You either do something meaningful, or you end up looking like a very expensive punchline. And the fallout wasn't just a few bad memes. It hit Blue Origin hard. It damaged their credibility and made people way more skeptical about private space tourism in general. The public sent a loud, clear message. If you want us to get excited about your space trips, show us something real. Give us new research, new discoveries, something that actually matters. Because if all you're offering is a glorified amusement park ride, we'll pass. But thanks for the memes. In the end, what could have been a genuine celebration of human ambition turned into a cosmic PR disaster. And somewhere out there, real astronauts are probably shaking their heads while changing tires, planting potatoes, and doing a lot more in 4 minutes than some people did with millions of dollars. And a spaceship that looks like a bad joke. Anyway, if you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more celebrity news and real talk. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.